guys, my name is Tori Brame. Welcome back to my channel. I am excited to have you here. Today I am going to be talking about prednisone. So I have a history with prednisone, and anybody with a chronic illness or autoimmune disease probably does. I'm so sorry. So I was first prescribed prednisone when I first went to see a rheumatologist about joint pain. I was still 2 years away from my lupus diagnosis, but I definitely had persistent joint pain. So she started me on, I really didn't experience any side effects from it. It made me feel really good, and then it stopped working once I went down to 20 milligrams. Yada yada, I decided to get off my meds myself. 2.5 years later, I was back in the ER with worse pain than before, and that was when I finally got diagnosed with lupus. Well, hey, in 15 minutes I'll be done. Can you use your headphones? I'm almost done. Alright, love you. So I had a doctor who was not a rheumatologist, and he prescribed me 100 milligrams of prednisone. I was supposed to taper back down to 40 over the next few weeks, and then I was supposed to see him again, and then I was supposed to taper off. Well, 100 milligrams of prednisone is a shit ton of prednisone. So first thing I experienced was the steroid headache. Probably about 5 minutes after I took it, I experienced the worst head-splitting migraine of my life. I was sound sensitive. I felt like I was gonna throw up. It was really terrible. Luckily I had an IV in, and so he just gave me some like intravenous painkiller. I have no idea what it was. That didn't work. It just numbed me out, and so he had to give me a Tylenol on top of that, and those two in combination worked, and the headache went away. For the next few days, I was on 100 milligrams of prednisone, and I experienced the moon face. And the moon face is when your face just like completely swells up and you look like you put on a lot of weight even though you probably didn't. Another thing I started experiencing with it was Cushing's syndrome, and that is where you lose weight on your legs and arms, and then you gain belly fat, and then also like a fat pad on the back of your neck. It's a really weird condition. So even just being on it for like 5 days, I started experiencing that. Also insomnia. I experienced such bad insomnia when I was on it. Also elevated mood and roid rage. There was this one time I was out to eat with my ex-husband, and he like took something off my plate that he thought I didn't want anymore, but apparently I did want it, and I like yelled at him in the restaurant. So that was a moment where I just kind of like looked at myself, and I was just kind of like, what is your problem? Like, it was literally just like a small thing off your plate that he was gonna eat. So another thing I experienced was the munchies. It was really terrible. Like, it was like I couldn't stop eating. It was like I had this compulsion to eat. Again, I was on a very, very high dose, so if you're on a lower dose, then you probably won't experience that, or at least not as much as I did. So I was only on prednisone for like 5-6 days maybe before I started experiencing allergic effects to it. So I would take it, my throat would swell up, my tongue would get itchy, and then I would also get like rashes on my eyes when I took it. It was super weird, where it would just get like really puffy and itchy like around my eyes. So the next day I had a doctor's appointment anyway, and so I told him about it, and he switched me off that medication. Since I experienced allergic side effects to it, I am no longer allowed to be on prednisone. It's on my allergy list. So that's really my only experience with prednisone. It was terrible. I am glad I'm not allowed to take prednisone anymore. But yeah, that is my whole experience with prednisone. And then after I got off the prednisone, my doctor actually switched me to dexamethasone, and I went crazy on that stuff, like for real. I was in the psych ward for 8 days. But yeah, that's my whole thing on prednisone. So that's all I got. I hope to see you guys later.